Okay, so you've heard of the dopamine detox, right? The buzzword everyone is throwing around to reset your brain and break away from the endless dopamine hits you get from Netflix, social media, or video games. But what if I told you dopamine isn't the only player in this game? There's a much bigger one we're totally ignoring, and it's literally the key to your happiness. Enter serotonin. Okay, so first off, dopamine is that feel good chemical we get when we scroll through Instagram, binge watch a show, or finish a pizza. It's like a reward system that gives us quick hits of pleasure. But here's the kicker, it's also what causes us to chase those highs, which can leave us feeling burned out or overstimulated. Hence, the whole dopamine detox idea. Simple, right? But here's where things get interesting. People talk about cutting out dopamine overload to reset their brain, but in reality, dopamine doesn't need a detox. It's just a signaler, not the root cause of your mood imbalance. Do you know who the real culprit is? Serotonin. Yeah, that's right. The chemical that barely gets any love in these discussions, serotonin, is what actually keeps you balanced and in control. So, unlike dopamine, which is all about wanting more, serotonin is about being content with what you have. It helps regulate your mood, keeps your anxiety in check, and boosts that feeling of well being. Basically, serotonin is what makes you feel stable and grounded. You don't crave more with serotonin, you feel enough. And here's the surprising part, most people are low in serotonin because we don't talk enough about boosting it. Here's a mind blower. Did you know that 90% of your serotonin is actually produced in your gut? Yup, it's not in your brain, it's in your gut. So, what you eat, how you sleep, your gut health are all key to balancing serotonin levels. And while dopamine makes you feel good for a moment, serotonin makes you feel good long term. But the irony is, while people detox from dopamine, it's serotonin that we really need to focus on boosting to feel more at peace. So, if you're constantly feeling anxious or low, maybe instead of a dopamine detox, you should focus on serotonin boosting habits. Sometimes I just sit down and meditate. It doesn't even have to be technically correct or anything like that. Just sit down to calm myself. And if I get bored of that, I go down to the pool area and play some pool. That's relaxing. And sometimes, yeah, I do get bored of just meditating all the time. And then I just switch on to do something else, like doing the laundry, just folding my clothes, changing the bed sheet, just keeping myself busy. Doesn't even have to do something too crazy. Or when it's raining outside and you technically start feeling a little gloomy, I try to not let that sabotage my mood. So instead of moping in the room thinking, oh, why is it not sunny? I try to enjoy the rain as much as I can and just go outside and get a little drenched. feels relaxing. It is not really a big set of rules that you have to change or pump yourself up always. It just can be small little changes here and there. Just doing the things that you love, but doing it more. The real secret isn't detoxing dopamine, but learning how to balance both these chemicals. When your serotonin levels are solid, you don't need those dopamine spikes to feel good about yourself. And that's when you stop getting sucked into the endless cycle of chasing highs. Have you ever wondered why, after a big project or an event, you suddenly feel down? That's because your dopamine levels have crashed all of a sudden from a big high. But if your serotonin was balanced at this point, you would have wrote out those dips much more easily. So next time you have post project blues, blame dopamine. Next time you hear about somebody talking about a dopamine detox, let them know that the real MVP here is serotonin. If you focus on boosting that, you'll feel better long term without having to detox from life. Don't chase temporary highs, build lasting happiness. And that's just something I told you guys. If you guys have watched Schitt's Creek, you guys might be able to relate. But dopamine is Mutt and serotonin is Ted. So now you know. You guys might be wondering, why do I keep talking about Schitt's Creek all the time? Well, that is my serotonin.